This week on Unscripted, the real reason Kurt Angle was sent on vacation. Plus, update on Neville's WWE contract. Has he finally been set free, or is he still being forced not being able to work anywhere? And is WWE setting themselves up for failure with what is to be the main event of WWE Evolution? This and more on the future #1 podcast right here on YouTube.com. This is Unscripted. What is going on, but it's the Franz. We're back again for episode 33 of Unscripted. We have a good bit of news to get into, but we want to talk about what happened this week in review. Of course, as we all know, this week was SummerSlam, or Summer Scam or Summer Sham. It wasn't the best pay-per-view out there. Of course, the only pay-per-view that's been really good for WWE this year has been the Royal Rumble, really. I mean, it was not a bad pay-per-view overall, I guess, but it could have been better. It could have been better, but WWE decides they want to, and they did a lot of that this week with manipulating the fans to what they want you to think. They want you to think that, oh, Roman should be cheered, Roman should be like the big baby face that we need him to be, when all in all, everyone knows that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. WWE's got to stop with that. Then they bring back the Shield because bringing Roman Reigns having Roman Reigns be a babyface is not working for them. So they need to bring back the Shield. And I don't know why everyone's cheering about the Shield, because and we'll talk about it later, for sure, they're going to try and do what they tried to do last year, and it just did not work. It did not work. And of course, Roman got the mumps, and then Dean Ambrose got injured and was out for 9 months. Am I shocked that the Shield was brought back immediately after Dean Ambrose returns? No, I am not. I honestly wish that there wasn't for the fact they were doing that. You have a psychopath in your corner, I'm going to have a lunatic in mine type storyline. I wish he would have showed up on SmackDown and you could have had Dean Ambrose on SmackDown and would have been done with it. And then we have, of course, on Monday Night Raw, who else but Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon comes out, and she wants to be like, it's all because of me, because I put out the plan for Ronda to get over, and Ronda is how popular because of me, and the women's evolution is all because of me. It's all me. Somebody shut her up. Take a sewing machine or a needle and thread and sew her damn mouth shut. I cannot stand Stephanie sitting there thinking she's done anything. They want to write the story or the narrative that she is the reason for the WWE Evolution pay-per-view. They want to make the narrative that she is the reason for the women's revolution, because if you all remember back in 2015, she came out and introduced us the WWE universe, the main universe, to Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte. And when we got like Team Bad, Team PCB, and Team Bella, let's not do that again, please. Please, let's not do something like that again. But she wants to sit there and say, oh, well, it's all because of me, because I started all this. When if you think back in 2014, who started the women's evolution? You had Emma and Paige. And then the Four Horsewomen. Everything was in NXT, was where it all started, where the women's evolution always evolves instead of devolves back into the Divas division on the main roster. Until we got to SummerSlam, our two champions was Alexa Bliss, who does not want to take a bump, kisses ass, and politics to be a champion. Even though she sucks at what she does, she is not great on the mic. She's really not even the best looking woman out there. And then, of course, you had the woman who pretty much admitted she is a diva, in Carmella, who sucks on the mic, has never been a good in-ring performer. She was a hype girl for Enzo and Cass back in 2015, I think it was, when she made her debut. 15, when she made her debut. That's all she was good at. She was never good in NXT. She's not good now. The fact that they even gave her a championship run because she won the Money in the Bank ladder match is just criminal. They should have had her try and cash in. They should have had Asuka beat Charlotte, have her try to cash in. She gets beat and ended it. But you gave her a reign of terror that nobody wanted to see. Then, yeah, so WWE's got to get their shit together. Speaking of the women of SmackDown, we are going to play a little clip from the Gorilla Position. It's a podcast on YouTube. From the Gorilla Position with Becky Lynch's first interview after turning on Charlotte. I usually don't play audio on Unscripted, but this is definitely something else that WWE tried to manipulate the fans to do and have Becky Lynch turn on the fans and have them boo her because of her actions when she's 100% right. How do you expect me or anyone else to go to an event, see Becky beat the living piss out of Charlotte Flair and not be happy for her? So this is exclusive first interview after turning on Charlotte. This is the beginning of the Gorilla Position. This is from August 22nd of this year, right after SummerSlam. This is from the Gorilla Position YouTube channel. I will put a link to this video probably down below just so I don't get hit with all gold stealing from this. But it is the Gorilla Position, so if you want to find the entire audio clip, which this was a 9-minute clip, I'm not going to play it all, but make sure to go to youtube.com/the Gorilla Position and you will find this audio.
By Becky Lynch. How are you, Becky?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
I've been better.
How was Sunday night? I mean, I was going to say must have been amazing for you. Huge match. Great fan reaction at the end of the match, but obviously you weren't happy with how things went down?
Yeah, no, of course not. So, I don't understand what people are saying to me when they say well done, because I went in there with the intention of winning the title, and I currently do not have the title, and I have been burning a hole through the women's division on SmackDown Live for the past few months, and then Charlotte shows up, she gets handed a title opportunity, and opportunistic as ever, when I had that match won, she snuck in and she stole my victory from me one more time, and again she gets handed the gold, and I'm left on the sidelines. So okay, the crowd cheered, but what does that mean when I haven't accomplished anything, and I'm left there with one title run while she's had 7 and maybe 8 if you count NXT, and I'm supposed to be satisfied with that? I'm supposed to be happy with that? That's not enough for me.
Are you not satisfied at all that at least the crowd seemed behind you at one point, chanting Becky, Becky, Becky? Are you at least fueled knowing that they want to see you and Charlotte?
I appreciate that they wanted to see me win, but I didn't get the gold, and I think I've been preoccupied too much with keeping everybody on side, and that hasn't done me any favors. So I have to reevaluate everything and reevaluate what I was putting my priorities on. And if that was getting the crowd on my side, if that was getting a friend on my side, well then I've been doing it wrong, because there's one reason that I came to WWE, and that was to be great, and I'm not achieving that. So I have to look at everything and look at the fact that I'm not on the front of the posters all the time. I'm not on the front of the DVDs. And why is that? And it's certainly not because of me, because I've been working my ass off the entire time I've been here. I haven't dropped the ball once, but any time that Charlotte Flair shows up, then it's all about her. It's all about her. When I was the first woman drafted to SmackDown Live, this show was entirely about me. The show was entirely about me. That title was built because of me, because the people wanted me to have a championship, because I deserved it, and because Charlotte Flair had stolen it from me time and time again when it was the Divas title or when it was the women's title and before there was a brand split. And then, of course, she gets drafted to SmackDown Live, and again, it becomes all about her.
You definitely sound frustrated. Is this a lot of frustrations coming out over the fact that over the last 6 months we haven't seen much of you? You are a former champion.
I'm going to start right there, but that is exactly... How do you expect me to boo a Becky Lynch? Again, at youtube.com/thegorillaposition, I know they have a lot more viewers than I do, but if you haven't seen that interview yet, that is where that is from. But that just, like, you could just tell she is trying oh so hard in that interview right there. And there is more she talks about that maybe I don't have enough enhancements, maybe my hair's not blonde enough. That it just shows that everything that we complain about a Charlotte, or the last two champions of Alexa Bliss and Carmella are all right. The fact that each and every one of them, all three of them, are blonde, have some kind of enhancement, or in like the face or the boobs or the ass or something, and she's trying to be true to herself, and it shows that WWE's favoritism for hot blondes is the narrative that we still, to this day, have to deal with. It's just so ridiculous that they do this, that to like somebody like her. I'm hoping this leads to Charlotte, Becky at Evolution. I can see them starting this at Hell in a Cell. We get Charlotte versus Becky, and that one goes to a no contest. There's going to be the Super Showdown. Maybe another no contest with these two, and then we get to Evolution in a hardcore match, cage match, some kind of match. I would like to see a Charlotte versus Becky steel cage match at WWE Evolution, and we get that match, and Becky walks out champion. Becky has to walk out champion. Just plain and simple. When this thing is all said and done, it has to be Becky winning the championship. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, because we all know that they want to have Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey for next year's WrestleMania. So why would you keep the championship on Charlotte past Evolution? If you're going to have her lose the championship, it would definitely be at Evolution. The only one that makes sense. Then we also had ourselves SmackDown. We got new tag team champions. Go check out the SmackDown live review on that one. That was a dang good match. SmackDown, for whatever reason, recently has had better tag team matches than Raw ever would. You've had when the New Day faced the Bar to see who's going to face the Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam. That was a damn good tag team match. The match at SummerSlam, unfortunately, was not that great just because it just wasn't. It felt disappointing. Then we get to Tuesday, and that match was amazingly good. It was like 3, 4, 5 times better than the match they had at SummerSlam. And then when you with the fact that Eric Rowan, who has been confirmed to have a torn bicep, wrestled that match, that hardcore match, not like he didn't slow down, and he didn't slow down at all. He still wrestled his own match. You could tell his arm was like heavily taped too. But that's not the point. The fact of the matter is, he wrestled that match with a torn bicep. Yes, he was taken out by running into the barricade with like a few minutes left, but he wrestled a 15-20 minute match with a torn bicep. Only crazy people like Sabu would do something like that. But it was interesting to see us have new tag team champions, and people are like, oh, well, it was probably because the fact that Eric Rowan got hurt was the reason they made the hardcore title match. Maybe that's the reason they made that match a no DQ match. Well, not really, because of what happened at SummerSlam. But I honestly think that they were going to have the New Day win the tag team titles no matter what. But the simple fact is they wanted to, like, they don't want to give away everything on, SummerSlam. They want to actually save stuff with SmackDown so people actually have a reason to tune into SmackDown, and same thing with Raw. I mean, Raw did give us a main event of Finn Balor and Roman Reigns, and Roman got carried all the way through that match, plain and simple. So, what else do we have this week? Oh, I don't know. NXT was just the aftermath show, which had a damn good UK title tournament match, which, by the way, the UK show is being taped today and tomorrow, in which I guess 2K19 is going to be making an announcement at the UK tournament, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be big news coming out of those tapings on today and tomorrow. Well, it's nothing else really happened other than the fact that WWE is trying to push the Roman Initiative and the fact that they're also trying to push Becky Lynch and get Becky Lynch to be a heel, and it's just not gonna work. So WWE really needs to get that through their head. And then, of course, you heard the Becky Lynch stuff, which I just needed to play most of that. I wasn't going to play it all. But definitely going to leave a link to that down below just so we know, have everything covered. Definitely worth a listen to. It's a 9-minute video clip, and I have not heard of anything else from those guys, but I needed to hear what Becky Lynch was all saying. Moving on to the news here, we start ourselves off with the main event of Evolution. Is WWE trying to sabotage? And I think they're trying to sabotage the main event of Evolution with this main event rumor, because why would I or anybody else want to go and watch a main event of Evolution with Ronda Rousey, which is fine, and Nikki fucking Bella? No, I would not. According to Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Ronda Rousey will be defending against the longest reigning Divas champion in WWE history. Which the only reason, and I don't care what anyone says, the two reasons that Nikki Bella is known as the longest reigning Divas champion is because, one, WWE is petty as fuck, and two, because she was dating John Cena at the time. No one else can tell me any other reason why she kept that title for as long as she did. Because WWE is petty, and they have to make sure that everybody who's like this, they've done this thing with the New Day beating Demolition's title reign. They've done this with CM Punk when it came to Brock Lesnar holding the Universal title for over 500 days. WWE is petty as fuck so many times, it's not even funny. So, the fact that Nikki Bella is even in this position, the match would make a lot of sense. No, it does not. Whoever wrote this, they typed in, the match would make a lot of sense because of the name value between both women, but the time will tell if this report has any validity. We have seen Nikki and Ronda interact a little between SummerSlam and Monday Night Raw, but there have been no signs of hostility during those interactions. Well, of course not. The only answer, and I think I said this on my SummerSlam and Monday Night Raw review, the only answer to this at Evolution is Ronda Rousey and Natalya. Speaking more of Ronda Rousey, there continues to be speculation that Rousey versus Natalya will be happening for a future programming, likely sooner rather than later. You definitely want to have that thing while she is Raw Women's Champion, and it makes sense for it to be at Evolution just because it's the elder statesman of the WWE's women's division in Natalya versus the hot commodity in Ronda Rousey. That makes more sense than Nikki fucking Bella, who hasn't wrestled since the Royal Rumble, and that was barely at that. And the last match she had before that, if I'm correct, was WrestleMania 33. No, get that shit out of here. Speaking of Rousey, News Observer says it's not a lock that she'll wrestle Charlotte at WrestleMania 35, though. It is one of the ideas WWE is currently considering. It's a lock. Barring any injury from Ronda Rousey or Charlotte, we are getting Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte at WrestleMania 35. You cannot tell me any other way. Sorry. You cannot say any other way that it's going to be Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. That's what it's going to be. So, WWE, I even put this on Twitter. If the Bellas are anywhere near the main event of this show, you are absolutely failing everything. The entire show will be 100% a massive failure if WWE gives us, let alone there's also talk, maybe, just maybe, it won't be Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey. Ooh, shoot, thank you. But it's going to be not Nikki Bella, but Ronda Rousey versus Stephanie McMahon. Could you fucking imagine the bullshit that would come out of the announcers now, the commentators now? Oh, Ronda Rousey versus the woman who started it all, the woman behind the entire WWE's women's revolution. Stephanie versus Charlotte. I'm not Charlotte, but Ronda Rousey. It makes sense. No, it does not. That would be a laughing stock waiting to fucking happen. Do not let it happen. Either one of those matches are 100% doomed for failure. I think if they're going to put this match on when it comes to Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella, is a way for Vince McMahon to be like, I'm going to sabotage this show. Why do I want to see these guys do great? I don't give a damn about women's wrestling. It's Triple H and Stephanie's all pushing me on this stuff. So I'm going to make the matches the way I want to. I'm going to sabotage this. I could see old man McMahon getting pissed about that, which, by the way, he is 73 years old now. His birthday was on Friday, I believe. Yeah, yesterday. It was yesterday. His birthday was yesterday, so congratulations to him, 73 years old. Again, keep the Bella Twins away from any part of the main event. You want the Bella Twins on at Evolution. They were in a 6-woman tag team match, or a battle royale, or that's it. You want to have Nikki versus Brie? Fine. Keep them away from the main event. What are WWE's plans for the Shield this time? What do you expect? The plan now is for the Shield to get the run they were supposed to have before Roman got the mumps and Dean Ambrose got injured last year. So, basically, you want WWE is having, like, and it all makes sense why Roman lost at WrestleMania and he lost at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Because WWE wants him to have the Shield back him up. The Shield was not a viable option at WrestleMania, and was not a viable option at the Greatest Royal Rumble because Dean Ambrose was out. WWE wants to make sure that they're trying so hard to get Roman Reigns to be liked. But last year, when they brought the Shield back, and you had the New Day versus the Shield at Survivor Series, what happened? You got Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins being cheered heavily when they were in the ring. Every single time Roman went and got into the ring for the match they were in, which wasn't very big, he was booed. Everything that they did with him, he was booed. Why do they still continue to try and push this guy as a babyface? Turn this guy heel. You continue to push the Shield and their actions on Monday were not of a babyface faction or a babyface group. You're not going to have the Shield come back to protect somebody in themselves if you want them to be babyfaces. If you want them to be heels, fine. That's the only way this will work. And the only way this will work is that, of course, the run last year was supposed to lead to a Dean Ambrose heel turn, in which it did not, because Dean Ambrose got injured. The whole thing was that Dean Ambrose was supposed to turn on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Roman goes off on his own like he did last time, and Seth and Dean have a feud going into WrestleMania. That did not happen due to injury. So WWE wants to try and give us the Shield run we were supposed to have from October to, I'm pretty much going to say the Elimination Chamber, maybe, this year. Yeah, good luck with that. At least the Brock Lesnar and, like, the Let's Get Roman Reigns Over initiative for trying to give Roman Reigns the championship is now done and over with. That part's done. Now we can just have the team, this fail for them completely, as it always has and it always will. And let's move on. Speaking of the Shield, what is they going to be doing at the Super Showdown? How the Hounds of Justice will be unleashed on Super Showdown. United and stronger than ever, the Shield are set to make their way into the Melbourne, Australia on Saturday, October 6th. It's almost 6 years ago. Wow, 6 years. When Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose disrupted the WWE Universe with their game-changing debut before going on to become one of the most dominant factions in WWE history, which got pretty much broken up in one of the most shocking ways ever that I actually enjoyed. Picking up from where they left off last year, they look to be stronger than ever, though it is still not known just who the Destructive Trio may face when the Hounds of Justice enter the Melbourne Cricket Grounds. All Out Bedlam won't be far behind, no matter who's standing across them. The Brother-in-Law will be among the largest collection of WWE superstars and legends to ever appear in Australia, as the WWE Super Showdown takes place at the Melbourne Cricket Ground and on Saturday, September 6th, and tickets on sale for the Super Showdown are available now via ticket at ek.com.au. Further ticket information, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, it would not surprise me. This is the Super Showdown, but of course they don't have to do brand supremacy if they want. They could do brand supremacy if they want, and we could honestly probably see the New Day versus the Shield again. But what else would you have? What else would you have? The Shield. The only way the Shield reunion works, in my opinion, the only way this Shield reunion works at all is if Dean Ambrose turns heel, which he did. He should have came out wearing the shirt instead of saying "Welcome back to the Asylum," saying "I am turning heel in very soon," because he just looked like he did not look like a babyface coming back. I'd rather see the Shield turn heel, and then of course Dean Ambrose turning on both Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, and then you get a heel Roman Reigns. The biggest problem, and this is the thing, if the turn happens with Dean Ambrose, if the turn happens, they're going to boo him for a second, but if he's beating down Roman Reigns, they're going to cheer him. Roman Reigns, as he is right now, is never going to get the reaction that Vince McMahon wants. I don't know why he continues to try and get this guy cheered. You already screwed him up enough to where people don't care about him as much as they did when he was a member of the Shield. But you can't just continue to be like, oh, well, we're just going to let this guy get booed, or we're going to try and do everything we can to get him cheered. Yeah, let's do it. Now, you already screwed him up. It really doesn't matter if you turn him face or heel. It just is what it is. Stop pushing the initiative. Just get over it. Just get over it. It's time to move on, and let's just keep it at that. Speaking of the old former Universal Champion, we have what is going on with Brock Lesnar. According to PW Insider, the general feeling in WWE regarding Brock Lesnar's future is that the door is open for the Beast Incarnate to return. The company has resigned themselves to the fact that his attention will solely be on returning to the Octagon in order to challenge Daniel Cormier for the UFC Heavyweight Championship over the course of the next few months. After that, however, they are more than happy to discuss the possibility of him returning, although the rumor suggesting that there was a planned segment for Brock Lesnar on Raw is apparently false. Yes, even though he was scheduled to appear, which why a lot of people picked him to win at SummerSlam, was the fact that he was scheduled for the Monday after, in which we all figured, including myself, figured he's going to beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam and then go on to Monday Night Raw, have the same Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman thing, and then you would have had Brock Lesnar get cashed in on and beat for the title by Braun Strowman. That, of course, did not happen, and he was nowhere to be found. A lot of people, there was a rumor going around that the segment we got for Triple H was actually supposed to be Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, when things just did not go the way they expected them to. So, that was them for you. Do y'all want to see Brock Lesnar back in WWE anytime soon? No. Just stay the fuck away. Of course, when WrestleMania season comes around, then Vince McMahon is going to pick up that phone and be like, hey, Brock, you want to come back for Mania? I'll pay you X amount of money. That's exactly what will happen, because WWE wants all the big names on the show. If they can get The Rock, they will get The Rock. If they could get the Goldberg, they would get Goldberg. If they could get anybody to wrestle, all of that, they would definitely do it, because that's how WWE rolls. They want to have the big names for WrestleMania because it is the biggest show of the year, and they want as many eyes on the product. So, expect, we won't see Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar's gone. You're probably not going to miss him if you're a casual fan. Expect when we get to January or February, depending on how he does against Daniel Cormier in the Octagon. If he beats Daniel Cormier, WWE is going to go and try and fetch him either way, and probably pursue him a little bit harder if he wins. I keep my throat. Yeah. Oh boy, here we go. The real reason Kurt Angle was sent on vacation. One of the biggest talking points coming out of Monday Night Raw was why did Stephanie McMahon force Kurt Angle to go on vacation? Now, there's a lot of rumor and speculation, but apparently, Kurt Angle was told he needed to take a break this week on Raw, so Constable Baron Corbin was made acting general manager. This didn't sit too well with Angle, but still he took his vacation. He had no choice but to take that vacation. Joe Pesci from Barn Burners Fired Up podcast said that WWE let Kurt Angle take a break from his GM duties for a very good reason. He says, and I quote, Kurt Angle was forced to take a sabbatical. Why? Because Kurt Angle is coming back, not as a GM, but as a wrestler. Yes, Kurt Angle will be a full-time wrestler when he comes back. I've heard he might come back in October. Look for him there. Comeback, I have heard he might come back in October. Look for him. Joe went on to say that even though Angle isn't booked for Super Showdown in Australia, he will be taking part in the event. Full-time wrestler, Kurt Angle at his age, I really don't even care to see it. Maybe a match between him and Seth Rollins, maybe him in a match with Daniel Bryan, him in a match with like a Johnny Gargano if he comes up. I don't really want to see Kurt Angle on a full-time basis. I don't want to see him vying for championships. I just want him winning a match. Him wrestling a match at like WrestleMania or the Super Showdown will be fine. But then that leaves the question, what happens to the general manager position? You're not going to have Baron Corbin be the general manager forever, are you? Or for the rest of the year, are you? Because why would you make an active competitor the continuous general manager? Maybe a Hulk Hogan will come back as the GM. Maybe Matt Hardy. Because there were people suggesting, it's like, hey, why don't we make Matt Hardy the GM? Matt Hardy, as Woken Matt Hardy, would be hilarious, I think, as general manager of Monday Night Raw. I think it would be hilarious. Especially let this guy go out there and say just speak in the Woken words. I honestly think it would be hilarious. So what are your thoughts on Kurt Angle being sent on sabbatical? For the simple fact is that he's coming back, and not as a GM, but a full-time. And if you could pick the general manager of Monday Night Raw to replace him and shoo off Baron Corbin, who would you choose? I honestly think Matt Hardy would be a wonderful, woken, not just Matthew Hardy, a woken Matt Hardy would be a wonderful GM, because we all know Matt Hardy. And it sucks if Matt Hardy cannot wrestle anymore. His wife was on, I think, Busted Open Radio, and said that he has to prepare himself for a post-wrestling career. And the fact that he did produce a match on SummerSlam, when he helped produce a match on SummerSlam, Matt Hardy, it sucks that he has to fully retire, but it sucks. Same thing with the Jason Jordan situation, him being injured. That sucks too. WWE's got a lot that they need to work on, and it really does suck for a guy, especially like Jason Jordan, if he is forced to retire at an early age. Dude's probably not even 30 yet, and he has to sit there and retire from wrestling. That would suck. I would hope that Jason Jordan's injuries are not that bad, but only time will tell, and we will have to wait and see. Cody on the Elite Future. As noted, the contract with Cody, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Page expired before the Ring of Honor New Japan show at Madison Square Garden in April. During a conference call this week, Cody said that he is verbally committed to the Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Page. The next step that they two will make together, and we're going to take it as a family. What does that mean? What does that mean for WWE? For their chances of going to WWE. If Cody Rhodes, I think Cody Rhodes is going to have a lot to say in what happens with Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Page. And these guys are working towards All In, which is going to be next Friday. I really wish I could go to that. I really wish I had the ability to, especially, and it's a bummer that PlayStation Vue does not have WG in America, so even if I could get the show, I probably would have to miss 0 hour, but whichever. It's definitely going to be a show to watch. I'll try and see if I can get a hold of it somehow. But these guys are going to be doing big things outside of WWE. These guys don't need WWE. WWE doesn't even need these guys. It's a pain that they're going to try and do that but they don't even need WWE. So will we see these guys in WWE anytime soon? I don't think so. Why would you? Why, especially look at the tag team wrestling on Monday Night Raw. Yes, I just said earlier that SmackDown Live is doing better than Monday Night Raw, but look at the B team. Look at the B team. They're your tag team champions, and they look like utter buffoons. Look at what I want to say. Look at the AOP. Look at Sanity. Look at Sanity. Look at the Revival. Look at all the teams, these big teams. If you're not the New Day, if you're not the Usos, if you're not the Bar on SmackDown Live, your career is pretty much just like dead in the water right now. Because WWE honestly does not care about your career in wrestling. So, yeah. Why would I want to watch? Why would I want to see the Young Bucks come to the WWE? Look at Andrade Cien Almas, who's barely gotten any traction. Look at Bobby Lashley when he came back. That WWE flubbed him up so goddamn badly. Why would I want to see a Kenny Omega or a Hangman Page or Cody Rhodes come back to WWE? Yes, other than Cody, the other guys would be sent down to NXT, which yes, they would get used properly. But but that's only temporarily. As soon as they come with the main roster, guess what? They're dead in the water. They're dead in the water, and they're not coming back up. And it's just sad. It really is. It's just sad. So, and of course, with Cody talking about All In 2, a possibility after this, which, yeah, you sold out All In, you got the venue, you sold it out, you got people coming, you have StarCast on that week. So, the only thing that you have to do is give them a good product. Yes, you have all these great matches, but who is the one in the back? Who is the driving force for the show overall? Who's going to be the ones in the background helping you get through this thing? I could see a Don Callis being there. Who's on the creative team for this show? Just because it's a one and done show right now, you still have to have, for wrestling, you still have to have a creative team in the back. Who's running the creative side of this product? And who's booking the matches and the length of the matches and how long the show is going to be. You have like Pentagon versus Kenny Omega. You have Rey Mysterio, Bandito, and Phoenix, I think they said, or one of those, versus the Elite, the Golden Elite. Cody Rhodes versus Nick Aldis for the NWA Championship. Are you going to have the NWA officials there to like book that match to how it goes? Which I don't think Cody Rhodes winning the NWA Heavyweight Championship. I could be totally wrong, but I will, even though I won't be watching the show, I will be doing a preview and predictions on next Thursday or Friday for All In as I get the whole entire match card, because I don't think the whole match card's done yet. But I will definitely be doing a preview and predictions just to see who I think or how I would book each and every one of those matches to go and who should win each match. Sasha Banks says she'd rather not work with Alexa Bliss again. Would you want to work with Alexa Bliss after everything that she's gone through and how much she's pretty much held the Women's Championship on Raw hostage? Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss coexist on the Raw roster, but there is apparently still heat between the two backstage. While appearing on Peter Rosenberg's Open Late Show on Complex, Rosenberg noted that her rivalry with Alexa Bliss was special because it felt like that she had real heat with her. Banks admitted that she didn't want to work with Bliss again, although WWE asked her to do so. She would still be professional. You got to be professional. There are so many people in this world that you have to work with that you don't like. Just because you work with somebody in WWE or wrestling in general doesn't mean you like them, doesn't mean you actually can stand them. There are people out there, and honestly, the only thing that you have to have, you might not like somebody, but you have to have respect enough for them in the wrestling business to be able to trust them. Even if you guys like want to tear each other's heads off, and some of those make some of the best wrestling matches too, when you have two people who can't stand each other going out there and doing what they can to go out there and give a good performance. Sometimes, like, a rivalry would be like, oh, you don't like me? Okay, fine, whatever. And I'm just going to outperform you. And then you get some pretty good shows. She said, and I quote, I think I'm really good at what I do. Banks replies, yes, she is. Regarding her backstage relationship with Alexa, Rosenberg asked if she wanted to work with Alexa again, and she said, not really. I think if they want to have a me versus Alexa, then they could have that because I could do my job very well. Banks said after her question in the storyline was already told between herself and Alexa. In 2017, Alexa spoke with Cheap Heat podcast about rumors of backstage heat with Banks, and she replied that she won't let her personal feelings about somebody stop her from doing business. The boss had spoken about Alexa on Raw Talk at the time. The 5 Feet of Fury heard the comments, but she wasn't going to let it stop her from being professional. I've always been the person to say business is business, personal is personal. I've never let my personal feelings about somebody get in the way of business. Bliss said, I want to have a productive match. I want to have a safe match. I want to have a great match. I want to take this company to the next level, which you are not doing this, Bliss, at all. Next level with women in this women's revolution. I've seen the things she said about me. If that's how she feels, that's fine, but we have to know that we put it to the side and have a productive professional match because that's what it is all about. Exactly. That's pretty much what I was trying to say. In the world of any business, professional wrestling, professional sports, professional business, whatever you're doing, as soon as you walk through that door of your business, everything, your personal feelings of everybody in that room is put to the side and it is left at the door. You leave your personal feelings at the door. There are so many times I've worked places that people walk into that building and they don't like somebody at that place, and they just let everybody know, oh, this person sucks at this person can't do this, oh, they can't do this right. It's like, shut up, do your job, and leave your personal feelings at home. That's how that works. None of this bullshit needs to happen. None of it. So, yes. Does anyone really want to work with Alexa Bliss after the way she's held the Women's Championship hostage over the last 2 years since the Superstar Shakeup last year? I wouldn't. She doesn't like to wrestle. She is clearly a favorite for somebody in the back. You had Sasha Banks, who had her last title reign last a week and a half, if that. Sasha Banks, one of the best professional wrestlers for women in WWE on Raw, and overall really, but on Raw. And you have her win the Women's Championship 4 times. And her longest reign was what, 12 days? But yet Alexa Bliss is a 5-time champion who's held the title for over 100 and some days, with her last title reign before WrestleMania, which was from TLC or from SummerSlam to WrestleMania, where she only defended the title 3 times. Yeah. No, I wouldn't want to work with her either. Speaking of the women, and this one is going to be a little spoilery, so spoiler. Huge plans for Tegan Nox before injury, and this one breaks my heart because I'm a big Nixon Newell fan. I remember watching her from What Culture Pro Wrestling when she faced Bea Priestley in that last woman standing match and all of her matches in WCPW and how hard she works to be who she is. But it sounds like WWE had big plans for Tegan Nox before her injury at the Mae Young Classic tapings in August, earlier this month. As noted, Nox suffered a left leg injury while facing Rhea Ripley in the quarterfinals of the tournament. Nox was set to win that match, but Ripley won due to the injury and went on to lose to Io Shirai in the semifinals. Shirai vs. Toni Storm will take place on WWE's Evolution as the finals. Nox also suffered a torn ACL last year, forcing her to miss the Mae Young Classic last year. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Nox was actually the probable winner of this year's Mae Young Classic and that Storm winning was not locked in. Storm vs. Nox was scheduled to be the finals at Evolution until Nox suffered the injury. And officials were considering to have Nox win the tournament. This would have set up a strong run in NXT. Why would she have won it over Toni Storm? Simple. This coming week, we're going to have the inaugural WWE NXT UK Women's Champion, and you would not have Toni Storm win the Mae Young Classic and the Women's Championship for NXT UK. With Tegan Nox, it's supposed to be Tegan Nox winning the Mae Young Classic, and you would have had Toni Storm win the UK Championship. That would have set up that Tegan Nox could have come in and was like, you may be a women's champion, but I already beat you at the Mae Young Classic, so me and you are going. I am the de facto #1 contender. So, where does this leave the Mae Young Classic? And for the fact of the matter is, where does this leave the NXT Women's Championship for the UK. I honestly think that Io Shirai is going to win the Mae Young Classic now, and Toni Storm is going to win the UK Women's Championship. It makes no sense whatsoever for anybody else to touch that title first than Toni Storm. That breaks my heart a lot because I want to see Tegan Nox do great things. She is a hell of a talent, and the fact that she got injured again, which I don't even know, if it's come out what her actual injury is. I've been looking at stuff. I can't find anything about her injury. Maybe they kept it private from everybody. They don't have to actually put it out there what her injury is, and it sucks. Maybe they're going to wait till the Mae Young Classic airs and then give us her injury. Hopefully she'll be back up soon. But that is killer with the fact that she landed wrong on her knee and she was done. And she was probably going to win the thing with the simple fact that you would have had Toni Storm win the UK championship for the women, and then you would have yourself the first feud for that title with Tegan Nox and Toni Storm. Speaking of injuries, there was a lot of speculation coming out of the NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 that Johnny Gargano injured himself for real. Even Pro Wrestling Unlimited had a video up that night that Johnny Gargano might be injured legitimately. I knew he wasn't. I knew for a fact he wasn't. Triple H noted in his WWE TakeOver Brooklyn 4 post-show media call that Johnny Gargano blew out his knee during the Last Man Standing match with NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa, which affected the finish of the match. Spoiler alert, it did not. Triple H said, and I quote, clearly I wasn't planning on Gargano injuring himself in the last sequence of that match. Triple H said, did it play into it? Yeah. Technically, it was supposed to go slightly differently than it all did. We kind of had to make a call on the fly and change a few things in that actual moment, so it ended up being different because only the people putting it together know what they were doing, and that's the beauty of what we do, and they get there. As I said, no, he was just playing it up. Triple H was playing up an injury angle. Gargano worked this past week's NXT tapings for Full Sail University and came out with a clutch on the August 29th edition. Did an angle with Velveteen Dream and then wrestled Dream for a match that airs on September 5th. The Wrestling Observer reported on Wednesday that people within the WWE have admitted that Gargano vs. Ciampa finish went off as planned, that Triple H was working an angle, and that this would be clear with how it played on a TV. They did something similar earlier this summer with Lars Sullivan, who broke his jaw, in quotation, broke his jaw in the match with Aleister Black. He did not. So, everyone who's saying that is like, oh my god, Johnny Gargano blew his knee out. No, Johnny Gargano did not blow his knee out. You could definitely tell just from looking at it when they had him sitting on the ramp that he was fine. He was playing up an injury. It was supposed to go that way. If Johnny Gargano would have actually blew his knee out, there would have been a lot more done than you saw on TV. Plain and simple. It was done that way to build up the fact that Johnny Gargano screwed himself again. Johnny Gargano lost again because of his own volitions. I don't know what he said at the tapings, but I cannot wait to see what he has said and how we're going to play up this entire injury. So, Gargano injured? Nah, it was just an injury angle. Moving around now, this episode, it looks like, with an update on Neville's contract. Pro Wrestling Sheet reports that Neville is no longer under WWE contract, so will we see him at All In? Could there be a surprise in the Rumble for the over-budget Rumble for a Neville or a Pac or whatever his indie name is? While there is no official confirmation from either wrestler or the company, a source within the Bangs about the situation apparently confirmed that the former Cruiserweight champion is not tied down with the company any longer. However, because the exact date he was released from the contractual obligations is unknown yet, there is still no clarity if he's still under the 90 days no compete clause that wrestlers terminating their contract are generally slapped with. So, All In, no, but will we see him? This is going to be great for Neville, especially if he is not under contract, because if he has that 90-day no compete clause is there now. He doesn't have to worry about that when it comes to April. Because I guarantee you, Neville will be at Madison Square Garden. Neville will be on the G1 Supercard. Neville will be a name that everybody's looking forward to. I cannot wait to see what this guy can do. I expect to see him probably in Ring of Honor. Impact Wrestling might throw him a bone. He'll definitely probably be at Ring of Honor, in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe when they go, maybe he could maybe show up at Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe he'll make his return to the independents at Wrestle Kingdom. This is great for a guy like Neville. So WWE let this guy finally go, which they didn't have to. They froze his contract and didn't have to do anything with it. So it's interesting to see that they actually let this guy go finally. And I'm sure it's a relief to him that he can actually go do something he loves to do with not having to be bogged down now. Just another superstar that WWE is going to lost. So, what does WWE have going into? And yet, this is why people want to say, oh, we want to see the Young Bucks in WWE. We want to see Cody back in WWE. We want to see Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega came out on the night Takeover last week and was like, I'm sitting here trying to be the best wrestler I can in a different part of the world, but yet people are still tweeting me that look what's going on in NXT. I want to see you there. I want to see we want to see you take on Adam Cole. We want to see you take on Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, and all them. And it's like, guys, simmer down. WWE, honestly, I hope never for at least 6 or 7 months. You don't hopefully for the rest of the year we don't hear any more signings by WWE. For the simple fact is, and I'm going to put this out there, you have Keith Lee, you have Jackson Riker, who I guess is making his hopefully the Forgotten Sons will finally be seen on NXT TV, because there have been multiple times over the last 4 or 5 months that the Forgotten Sons have had matches taped on for NXT TV, and they just get their matches cut. It's happened. It happened building up to WrestleMania. It happened building up to Chicago, and it's happening now. But WWE and Triple H, for whatever reason, has decided we're just going to cut these guys out. It is sad that the Forgotten Sons and Jackson Riker, aka Gunner, made his NXT debut in a segment for Aleister Black's Attack. That sucks. You have all these other names who have been making their debuts in huge fashion, and you get introduced to the main NXT crown via a backstage segment. It's gotta suck. Before we leave here, I gotta mention that they did, of course, on NXT's show this week, show us the camera footage again for the Aleister Black Attack, and for whatever reason, they said we zoomed it enhanced, and they showed the wide open shot, and then they moved up and above this, on top of one of the buildings at Full Sail, they went up and they zoomed in there, and I guess enhanced, and it just looked, and they said that's Nikki Cross, and I'm like, what does Nikki Cross have to do with any of this? So what if she was there? It's not going to make a difference. The biggest thing coming out of, and there was no word, and I'm pretty sure if the attacker would have been unveiled at this week's NXT, that they would have tapings. They would have been all over WWE's. They would have been all over Twitter that such and such name is the attacker. This person's the attacker. That person's the attacker. That would have been everywhere. So honestly, because we got War Games way down the line, I don't think Aleister Black's attacker will be discovered until the final tapings before War Games. It's just how I feel about it. I don't think they're going to want to build. They're going to build the suspense and just build it and build it and build it. And by the time the War Games start, the War Games is ready to be, because we're going to War Games, and I'm hoping this year. Last year was fine with the 3v3v3. I want a traditional War Games match where you have 4 to 5 superstars or wrestlers on a team. Every 90 seconds after 5 minutes, you have a new superstar from each team, so everybody's in there, and then you have the War Games match. If you don't want to have the move, fine, whatever. But give me a more traditional War Games match. I do not want to see 3v3v3. No. If Bobby Fish is healthy by the time War Games come around, but I don't know. There's a chance that he could be. But if he's healthy and is able to wrestle by by the War Games time, we would have all 4 members of the Undisputed Era against the War Raiders, and Ricochet, and Keith Lee. There you go. Keith Lee, Ricochet, and the War Raiders versus Undisputed Era. If you want to throw somebody else into the Undisputed Era too while you're at it, or get them like the Velveteen Dream on their team, and then you get like Pete Dunne or somebody on the other side, fine. But I want to see, and it sucks that Bobby Fish has been out this long, but you would have Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole, if Fish is available, versus the War Raiders, Ricochet, and Keith Lee. There's your War Games match right there. That's all you need. 4-on-4 War Games. None of this 3v3v3. Please. It was fine last year. Give me a traditional War Games match. And no, I don't mean we're going to have, like, one member of each member of the Undisputed, like, one member of the Undisputed Era versus one member of the other team, and then after, like, 2 minutes, the first, like, Undisputed Era all comes in, and then the other team all comes in. No. No. Just give me a traditional War Games match. Last year was fine with the 3v3v3. You did it fine, but I don't want to see 3 versus 3 versus 3 every single year. Give me traditional War Games. But that is going to be your Unscripted for this week. I tried to pull this out to an hour plus, but just couldn't find any news, really. I mean, the Kurt Angle stuff is what it is. I played that Becky Lynch clip, like a few minutes of it, because it's much better to hear from her why she is frustrated. WWE's biggest problem, hold on before we leave. WWE's biggest problem, I'm going to have to go back to the Becky Lynch thing for a second. WWE's biggest problem with portraying heels, for the most part, is that they make them too much, okay, let's go back to Roman Reigns versus Rusev, back when Rusev, I believe Rusev and Lana just got married. And they do this big, huge wedding ceremony, like wedding celebration ceremony in the middle of the ring. You got Rusev, you got Lana dressed up nice, dressed to the nines, looking all great. And then you have a table with like beautiful little cloth on it and a cake celebrating their wedding. Roman comes out and makes a fucking jackass out of himself and I think Lana ends up with her face in the cake. And yet, people were supposed to boo Rusev for defending his woman because this jackass named Roman Reigns came out and interrupted a beautiful ceremony between these two. Yet he's supposed to be a heel. Rusev's supposed to be the heel and Roman's supposed to be the face. And you wonder why we boo Roman. You wonder why Roman is heavily booed. For a shit like that. You can't, you can have, I guess, justifiable heels a little bit, but you have to have a justifiable heel that is delusional as well, thinking that they're right about what is wrong with them, what's wrong with their situation. Kevin Owens was better because he felt like he was getting screwed over all the time when it wasn't really, and he could try and justify that when it wasn't always true. Having a guy come out there, a woman come out there, beat the hell out of her who's supposed to be her best friend, and her best friend is getting everything handed to her, and she's getting frustrated and feels like she's the redheaded stepchild of WWE. Why wouldn't she go after that supposed friend and beat the hell out of that friend? Because that friend is getting everything she's wanted handed to him. It's just like a sport. It's just like a two kid home. One is let me think here. One kid is like 15, the other one is like 10, and the 10-year-old is being pretty much like the baby of the family, and the baby of the family is getting all the attention from the family. The baby is the baby of the family. The 10-year-old one is like a mama's kid, or mama's boy, mama's girl, whichever, and the other one is not getting any attention anymore. Okay, 10 years old, 6 years old, whichever, like young and old. The older child is not getting the attention from the family anymore because the younger child is the younger child. The older child is going to act out. The older child is going to go and try and make hell for the younger child. Same thing here, because WWE is paying more attention to Charlotte because she has those fake boobs, because she has blonde hair. WWE, with this WWE's Women's Evolution, is again showing you why It's divas, 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 no matter what you want to think. It's always going to be divas. Just how it's going to be. Always going to be diva, 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 diva. No matter how much WWE says they have evolved. Oh, first time ever for a Royal Rumble. First time Elimination Chamber. First time Hell in a Cell. First Women's Battle Royal even at WrestleMania, even though it wasn't. First time a woman has been on commentary for an entire episode of Monday Night Raw. So many first time evers, and then yet you're still latching on to the Divas division. It's pathetic, and WWE needs to get their shit straight. I'm telling you right now, if the rumors are true, and we get Nikki Bella in the main event with Ronda Rousey, you have absolutely failed your women's division again. You have absolutely failed this WWE Women's Evolution pay-per-view. And the ticket sales are going to dwindle as soon as you already have Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus, which is favoritism right there. Absolutely no reason Alexa Bliss should be going up against a Trish Stratus. Alexa Bliss should be going up against Nikki Bella if you want to do that. Whatever. Keep them to the side. Give me Trish Stratus versus a Sasha Banks. Give me Lita if she can still go, because Lita, apparently, from King's perspective, when they were doing the Royal Rumble, because she didn't really take many bumps in the Royal Rumble, she was supposed to be on the no-bump card. So if she's wrestling, I would like to see her go up against a Bayley. Maybe you could have, I would love to see, if you're doing this Boston Hug Connection, Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Trish and Lita. That would have been great for me. But if this is going to be the main event of Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey, you have already failed. This Women's Evolution pay-per-view is a failure. Give me Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. It should be Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. I already said earlier that there was plans of those two having a match. Have it be a three-stage match. You have a trilogy of matches, which Natalya wins one by DQ at Hell in a Cell. Then Ronda Rousey wins one by countout at Super Showdown, and then we get to Evolution in a submission match, and Ronda Rousey beats Natalya at Evolution. So it would be 1-1, and then of course the finish. Give me Natalya versus Ronda Rousey in the main event. Why? Because Natalya has been the oldest stateswoman. She has been the most consistent. She's been in WWE for 10 years, has not left like the Dallas Twins have. She has been there for 10 years. Throw this woman the bone to face her training partner, her friend, at Evolution. Fuck Nikki Bella. She's not even that beautiful. She's not even that good looking. She's fake all around. Nikki Bella is one of the more faker women on the roster. So get her, keep her as the curtain jerker of the show. Bellas versus whoever you want it to be. Bellas versus the Iconics if you want to, because both of those teams would be useless for anything else. You want to do Bellas versus the Iconics? Fine. Give me Natalya versus Ronda Rousey in the main event, and you actually will do something right. Give me Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella. You have sabotaged this thing already with the two matches that are like the first match and this match. Don't make that mistake. And I don't even want to see Stephanie McMahon on this show whatsoever. Keep her ass in the back. I don't want to see or hear from Stephanie McMahon, which of course we're probably going to the further we get, the closer we get to Revolution. I don't want to see her at all on this pay-per-view. I don't want to see her open the show. I don't want to see her wrestle a match. I don't want to see her on commentary. Keep her ass in the back. Keep her in the back and keep her away from the show. And it sucks because we all know that the way you make this succeed is you give us matches people want to see, which nobody wants to see Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus. Nobody wants to see Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey. Give us matches we want to see, have the right people booking it, have the right match order, and give us NXT style of wrestling. But unfortunately, with the fact that it's got main roster stars, I have a feeling the entire show is going to be a failure because WWE's main roster bookers are going to book this and not Triple H and not NXT. And that's going to make this show fail. And you want to know why? And when you ask, wow, that was a terrible show. Why did I even watch that? If Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey is the main event, I'm not covering this show. I am not covering it. It's not worth my time. If Stephanie McMahon is announced for a match, it's not worth my time. I'll maybe watch it on replay, but right now you've shown me no reason to have interest in the WWE Evolution pay-per-view. My interest was here. Like, I wasn't even at that high, but you just keep on bringing it down to the bottom of the shit barrel. Like, WWE week in and week out is giving me very, very little reason to even care about WWE Evolution. And if you keep pushing a narrative like this, I'm not going to cover it, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of other people aren't going to cover it because it's not going to be worth our time. It's going to be like the Greatest Royal Rumble, just a house show. Just a glorified house show with all women. And that's sad. But I talked you guys off for at least an hour now. I'm going to get out of here. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at TheFranz. Follow me on twitch.tv/TheFranz08. Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. Like this video. Thank you guys for everything. For all those who watched my SummerSlam weekend preview predictions from last week. My review of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 and SummerSlam, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Unscripted last week. Raw, SmackDown, NXT of this week. And this episode Unscripted. I will see you guys Monday for Monday Night Raw, where we will get more clarity on where they're going to push the Roman Initiative and the Shield. So then, my name is TheFranz, and I will see you guys Monday.